Xin chào, namaste, and good day everyone. Today is our webinar Wednesday, and I'm very glad to have you all with me today. I'm Molly, and I'm part of the international operations team from UBI Global. The idea of the webinar is to present the preliminary results of the Asia-Pacific market. We're going to take a more in-depth look at the performance of the incubators, and I hope it will really work out for you today and that you will learn a lot. Just let's get it started and take a look at the landscape data.
Hi everyone, I hope you can hear me very well. Thanks again for tuning in today. I will just go ahead and start. And this is how the agenda will look like today. So first of all, I'm gonna talk a little bit about UBI Global, the company, who's involved, and what we do. So I'm gonna explain how we work and how the benchmark process looks like and how our research team treats the data. And then we will come to the most important part, where I will present the preliminary results of 2015 of the APAC region. When we're done with this, I'm gonna dig into the benefits of doing a global benchmark. Maybe you already know, but it will be nice just to sum it up a little bit, and then we're gonna talk about what's next, which steps are ahead, what events have we been planning, and which very important dates will be upcoming in the next month. Yeah, we're very happy to announce those, and then yeah, if you have had any questions or recommendations during the webinar, I would like to answer those at the end. So let's get it started. Many of you have heard the term UBI Index. We just recently changed our name to UBI Global. We call ourselves UBI Global now, and it all started off as a master thesis project from Gothenburg, from Joel Eriksson. And his idea was to figure out what a successful business incubator means, and you know, how you can measure that. And so on his journey to figure out how to do so, he found Lars Hendrik, Ali, and Drew, and they founded UBI Global. We are a for-profit company, and like you know, we support entrepreneurs, and we help them to become better and improve their performance. So our mission statement is to support entrepreneurs to create successful businesses by facilitating activities such as information exchanges among the local, regional, and national support system of business incubation. So what do we do? Well, we assess business incubators, we do the benchmark, and now we also wanted to spread our network and connect you guys a little bit more. And that's why we also have this new slogan, Incubation, Impact, and Network. And to make this all happen, all the activities and our benchmark process, behind this we have a huge operational team. You probably have heard about Wai Fang, or maybe our director of operations, and she works really hard for us. We are all based in Stockholm. And it's impressive. We speak here around 11 languages today. And our main language in the office is actually English, not Swedish, which is kind of funny. We have noticed that there are many challenges out there with languages or cultural differences. And those kind of barriers we're trying to overcome with different kind of expertise. So we have a great team behind. We get help from our advisory board and the network of experts that help us with those kind of challenges, and they always help us to, find the right path all the time. Unfortunately, we have not all the pictures up here, but if you visit our website, you see you can find everyone there. We have also a great research team who treats the data, who normalizes everything, and helps us present it at the end. So this is a really, really good slide, and it just reflects our activities. So we put the University Business Incubator in the center. You guys, you focus on the startups and entrepreneurs, and we do the same with the University Business Incubators and acceleration programs. But it's not just about the University Business Incubators. It's about the whole ecosystem, and we work with all of them. So it consists of the governments, the investment community, corporations, the trade associations, the university and research institutes. So our main focus is you. But we work with all of them, so we help the governments, for example, to understand how a business incubator works, like what kind of needs you have regarding the investment community. Right now we are working really closely with the Islamic Development Bank, and it's one of our sponsors, and they're gonna help us with the release of the rankings of the Middle East and North Africa rankings, our so-called MENA rankings. We are also working right now with a huge partner at CISCO. I'm gonna talk about our cooperation with CISCO very shortly. We have just been at the NBIA in Denver, where we shared our best practices and ideas, and we did a little bit networking and shared insights. And of course, one of our biggest partners is the university and research institutes. Like I mentioned before, collaborations are very important for us too. So last year, CISCO came up to us and they kind of knocked our door. They were following our activities. They liked the rankings. They liked the release of the results of our global report. And yeah, they have a big CSR department there. With the corporate affairs, and they were looking for a benchmark for social innovation. So together with CISCO, we started this big project in spring this year, where we're creating the first social innovation benchmark. This year is just the US, but we're hoping that we can expand the program and take it into a global perspective next year. The purpose is, of course, to increase awareness of social innovation, and they truly believe in business incubators, and they like the idea of the university aspect, and so we want to shape, of course, a network where we can connect all those players in this environment. So let's talk a little bit more about our benchmark process. So our benchmark process is entirely based on our research, and this has and we have built one of the most reliable benchmark frameworks regarding the measurement of the performance and the impact of business incubators. So when we take a look at your performance, we have three categories. So we measure the value for the ecosystem, the value for clients, and the attractiveness. These three categories consist of 7 subcategories: the economy enhancement, the talent retention, the competence development, the access to funds, access to network, the incubator offer, like what do you offer, how attractive are you, and then how is the post-incubation performance. So you probably have heard a little bit about the benchmark framework. We were sending out material about it, and we will just leave it like this for the moment, because we could dig into this topic a lot deeper, but it will take probably too long for right now. So I will just continue with the benchmarking process. We have 5 key steps to benchmark incubators. So first of all, the first period is the data collection. We started off this year in February with the assessment calls. We get in touch with you. We ask you a lot of questions: how you work, what's your operational budget, how long have you been around, how many startup clients do you have, things like this. So we get in touch with you, we build a relation, we send out the surveys. After you have filled out the survey, got back to us, then it's time for the data treatment. This is the time for our research team. They are using reliable statistical methods to clean and normalize the data. When the data is normalized and comparable, we put them, like, we calculate the performance score for each of the participants. We build the rankings, and then when we have all the data ready, we're gonna release the benchmarking, and we're gonna show you all the results in when we have the individual presentations. So we're using, like I said, statistical methods to clean the data, to make it comparable. We have to make it more valid or reliable, this whole benchmark process, or to make sure that everything is correct, our system detects the cheaters. So that means if there is an incubator that comes with a very unrealistic number, we just detect those outliers. We try to either adjust it, put weights on it, or we just get back to all of you and then ask if this number is correct, and you can either explain or correct it. So these are, of course, a lot of concerns, but since we have a lot of different variables, we can just normalize everything and standardize. I know this is a lot of research terminology right now. What I'd also like to mention is that we use secondary sources of data to adjust the ecosystems, for example, because there are a lot of concerns out there. How can you compare an incubator from Africa with an incubator from the US? So we have built a system to normalize this and put weights on the data, so to make it comparable and to make it more fair. So like I said, how can you compare a young incubator with the old incubator? We have now built with our framework a way to have the possibility to slice and dice all the data just like we want. We put different kind of glasses on to see you in a global or regional perspective. So for enabling this comparison and to remove all the biases, we take into consideration the different types, then the different size of variables, the different sectors, and your age. So we have the business incubators and the business accelerators. We have different categories. You could be either an incubator that works with biotech, with ICT, clean tech, life science, social innovation, or maybe you're even non-specialized or you belong to a totally different category. So yeah, the benchmarks are conducted based on the incubator type, age, size, and the sector to make this performance comparable. We also thought about changing the age and slice it a little bit more. So yeah, and the result, our output of this whole global benchmark is of course the ranking. We don't really like the ranking, but we love the benchmark. But it's great to have a ranking to put the spotlight into this kind of sector. So, like I mentioned in the slide before, we have different types. So you could be a university business incubator, either managed or affiliated. Or you are just associated to a university. So you are a university associated business incubator. Or you're even non-affiliated. This year we also started to take into consideration to benchmark acceleration programs. And these ones could also be managed or affiliated. At the end of the year, in October and November, we will release the rankings for the different region and for the global ranking. At the end of the webinar, I'm going to talk a little bit about the timeline, where I'm going to tell you a little bit more about the dates. So, why the UBI Global Benchmark works? Well, easy answer. It's because of our great methodology. We have this standardized framework. It is research-based. We have a great international team with experts and advisors who help us out and recommend us how to have this great framework. We have a large data set. We talk to a lot of incubators around the whole year. We're being part of events and webinars, to connect with the whole ecosystem. Now it's been 3 years already, and it's been well tested. It's very accurate and quick, of course. So, of course, it's highly reliable and robust. So now it's time to take a look at the preliminary results of the APAC region. Maybe you have had the time to tune into the webinar that Ali was having with the preliminary results of the global benchmark. There he already told us that a great number, 500 applicants applied this year, and in total we had 300 benchmarked. 8% is from the APAC region. So we had 41 incubators that applied this year for the global benchmark. And in total, 30 of you were benchmarked. When we take a look at these sectors, you can see that 29% works in the field of ICT, 18% in the field of biotech, 5% clean tech, 6% life sciences, 4% social innovation, which is a new sector that we're taking a look at, and it seems to be growing a lot. Then 10% are non-specialized, and 28% are others. Others could be all kinds of different industries, like food or clothing, for example. So, what phase are your client startups operating with? 12% work within the idea phase, 24% in the early stage, 36% in the growth phase, and 28% in the acceleration phase. We're trying to have very clear and accurate definitions in our benchmark survey to reflect the real picture. So when you fill out the survey, just make sure that you use the right expressions. During our survey, we asked you about your university connection. So, who are you? Are you a university business incubators? Are you affiliated to a university, so-called UABIs? We have the definitions also on our website, if this wasn't clear for you. So 50% of the business incubators from the Asia-Pacific regions, they are university managed. 40% of you, they are university affiliated, and just 10% are non-affiliated business incubators. Another question we ask you is how are your client startups enrolled in your program? It could be either physically enrolled or virtually enrolled. And we have seen that the trend goes more towards virtually enrolled students. But here in the APAC region, there are still 73% that are physically based. They have to be in the office or in the co-working space and be there, attend the classes and report. 27% they are virtually enrolled. In comparison with the global benchmark, there we have 56% that are physically enrolled and 44% virtually. And of course, another thing that is really interesting is, where are you located? Is the incubator based in the city or is it more outside? So we ask you, are you based in an urban region, semi-urban region, or rural? Which is very interesting. In the APAC region, we don't have any that operates in a rural or in the countrysides, in smaller towns. Most of you, 90%, which is a very big number, operate or work in big cities with a high density of population. And 7% work in smaller cities and towns with a medium density of population areas. So when we ask you about your company form, how do you work? We ask you if you are for profit. If the incubation program operates for the financial benefits of their owners and shareholders, or if the incubation program reinvests surplus revenues towards their mission and operations rather than distributing them as profit and dividends. So 60% of all the business incubators are non-profit, and 40% are operating as for-profit businesses. For us, of course, it is very interesting to see how you work and how your business model looks like. So we can highlight in the summer or in our benchmark reports the best practices. How does a for-profit business incubator operate, or how does the non-profit business incubator operates? Regarding your age, we ask you when you were founded and about the average duration of your program. For most of you, it's around 24 months. We have seen that most of the incubation programs in the APAC region, they started in the late 90s, the beginning of 2000, and then there were a couple just founded a couple years ago, around 2011 and 2012. Of course, in comparison to the US and Canada, where it all started off, you're still very young, just 20 years old. It's also very interesting to see how many employees you have. Here in the APAC region, you have around 20% that have up to 5 employees, full-time employees. The majority of you, they have 6 to 10 employees. This is like 43%, almost 50%, half of you. Then 5% operate with 11 to 15%. They have 11 to 15 employees, and 12% of the business incubator from the APAC region, they have 16 to 20 employees. 20% work with more than 20 employees, which is a very high number. And what we have found out or realized is that the Asian programs, they have a very high number of employees because you tend to have a larger scale program in comparison to the rest of the world. And of course, then it's very interesting to see the correlation between the operational budget, the number of employees, and then to find out what's the best practice. How many employees do you need to work with a certain number of startup clients? So here you see how many startup clients in average you have currently enrolled in this year program. So in APAC, just 2% have around 5 startup clients. 24% work with 6 to 10 startups. 10% work with 11 to 20 startup clients that are enrolled. The majority, 35%, work with 21 to 40 startup clients. This reflects what I just mentioned earlier, that the Asian programs work in a larger scale than other programs do it. And then 29% work with more than 40 startup clients. Wow, that's a lot of data. But this, we're coming almost to the end of the preliminary results of the APAC region. This slide shows the operational budget. So it doesn't really take it doesn't really take that much money to manage and run a program. But again, we need to look in terms of the companies, like how many startup clients do you have? So 7% of the incubators, they work with an operational budget that is up to 50K. And 23% they work with, or they have an operational budget between 50K and 200K. Most of you, 20% have an operational budget from 400K to 800K. And just a few of you, 3%, have an operational budget from $800,000 to 1.2 million, which is a high number. Just like I'm sorry. So 17%, they work with an operational budget of 1.2 million to 2 million. And of course, here again, for us, it's interesting to find out, the correlations between it, and of course, to see the output. So what we're trying to do is make a correlation of that. Does the input is equivalent to the output, and what is the best practice? So these were a lot of numbers and facts. Another slide that shows a little bit more about the allocation of the budget. So what do you do with your operational budget? So most of you spend their money on salaries and HR costs, 43%. 9% of the budget is spent on the mortgage and rental of your spaces, of the offices. 13% are just for equipment and the labs, the infrastructure maintenance. 10% for marketing and communication purposes. 12% for events. 5% for investment funds, and 8% for other things. So if you have any questions regarding those numbers, just feel free to write in the chat or ask us or send us an email. So, next step. So what is a benefit of taking part in our global benchmark? All the participants receive, first of all, they receive the opportunity to get recognized as a top performing incubator. They will also get one of our beautiful designed and like a screenshot of their performance, our scorecard infographics. Then in the summer, we will send out the executive summaries of the annual Global Benchmark Report of 2015. And then you have the opportunity to get a 30 minutes personalized video presentation of your individual results. It's going to be about the regional and global performance. And at the end, everyone who has participated will get a certificate. So, and of course, we ask everyone, why? Why have you been, what was the value for you? Why have you been doing all of this, collecting the data, sending it back to us? What is the value? Well, many of you have said that this benchmark is a great funding opportunities. So this is how the managers, they use it as a benchmark performance, as like an argument to receive more funding, more money from their stakeholders. We also help you to gain more visibility and credibility. We use social media, we present the results, we release the rankings, we have events, we have very consumable reports. So the incubator managers that have received everything, they really liked the layout, they like our reports, and they, it's easy for them. We write the reports, we make it visual, and then you just need to share it with the board of directors, the university, or other stakeholders. Yeah, like I said before, we do a lot of publications. We have planned to send out a lot of white papers this year, and share it with all the communities and all the members of our network, so everyone understands the market, how it looks like. We also give you a very good strategic and monitoring tool. So you can use it to see your performance. You can highlight your strengths, and then see where maybe you have to develop a little bit better, where we don't want to say weaknesses, but area of improvement. Where could you do a little bit better to be one of the top global players in that incubation space? Yeah, in terms of recognition, there's a lot of news and articles going out about our UBI benchmark, the rankings, the inputs and output, and we are continuously signing contracts and agreements with different kind of media partners to show what the business incubators around the world are doing, how they're operating. So here you see just a few articles that were released and where we were published. And of course, one of the questions we always get is why it's all for free, and how do you make money? What's your business model? What do you do with all the data? Well, let me start with the data. Everything you give us, you share with us, is confidential. So when we report, we just report aggregated results. But we also have some specific situations where a business, where managers come up to us and they wanna see how they perform against other programs, such as RISE, for example. So what we do then is just to get those managers in contact, and so they can talk about it a little bit more. So we give them the opportunity to network. So just to make sure, everything is completely confidential. In terms of our business model, this slide answers this question. So what we used to do is we used to sell those scorecard packages with the reports. And for this year, we have thought to offer you a membership, because we have been talking to the business incubators, and most of you, they wanted to have an opportunity to connect and to meet and to share best practices and insights. So what we have thought for this for the upcoming months is to release this membership. So we have 3 types of different memberships. It's the standard, the silver, and the gold. And everyone who has participated this year is, of course, a standard member. It doesn't cost you anything, and it will never ever cost anything. So what we will ask for in the next years is just to sign up and be a member, and then you have the opportunity to choose between the different kind of memberships, and we will release more information about it on our website. Just take a look at ubi/global.com. ubiglobal.com/member. There you will find more information about it. And what we have planned is to organize more events, and there will be special events exclusively for gold members or silver members. So what's next? There's not a lot of things left during this webinar right now, but I'm gonna talk a little bit more about our timeline. What events are coming up? How does it look like? So at the beginning of the year, in February and March, we started to collect the data for our global benchmark study. This is where our journey started this year. We connected with more than 500 incubators around the whole world. The data collection period just recently finished, but of course we're getting data in throughout the whole year. But for the rankings, we finished it 2 weeks ago. So now it was the time to analyze everything, and we are about to start our individual presentation for all the participants. You can sign up on our website to get your presentations, and we will take 30 to 45 minutes to present everything individually. So after the presentation, we will have a few top performing interviews with one of the best ones to share the best practices in our reports that we will deliver in August to September. And then the most exciting time of the year will come, where we will give away the UBI Awards. So the key dates we have for this year is right now, the end of May until the end of June. There will be the presentations. Afterwards, until the end of August, we will have the interviews. Then it's time for us to produce all the white papers, the reports, and the deliveries that will be sent out in August and September. And then afterwards, we will have different events where we're gonna announce all the rankings and give away the UBI Awards. So here we have already some events that have been decided where they're gonna be and when they're gonna be. Africa and the Asia Pacific region still needs to be decided, but of course we want to do it somewhere where you don't have to travel so far away. So for us, of course, it would be amazing to be somewhere in China or maybe Australia, somewhere in Africa. In Europe, it's gonna be the 26th to 27th of October in Italy, where we're gonna work with our partners together. There we're gonna have the network and recognition event in Turini. And then we have been working with CAUS together from our MENA region, our partners there. There in Saudi Arabia, we're gonna have the recognition event on the October 14th. On the 2nd to 3rd of November, it hasn't quite decided yet who's gonna host it and where it's gonna be, but it's gonna be in Canada, the recognition and networking event. And then at the on the Latin America region, the networking event there will be taking place in Bogota in Colombia at the beginning of October. And yeah, the world ranking, it's going to be very exciting to present the rankings there. It will be in November, and it also is going to be still it's on ongoing discussion where we're going to do it and who's going to host it. These are the plans for later on this year, and we're very thrilled and excited to present the data. So there's not a lot of slides left. So to book your individual presentations, just visit our website ubiglobal.com/schedule, and there you can just book your personal meetings, and we'll be happy to connect with you very shortly. So now it's about time to ask all your questions, and I will happily answer everything, and I try to please everyone. I hope you've learned a lot today, or you got a few more insights about the preliminary results, about the performance of the business incubators in the Asia Pacific region. I'm looking forward to connect with you very shortly and have some first review meetings where we're gonna talk a little bit more about your personal results and maybe about the membership if you're interested to know a little bit more about our events and about what you can get from us. And I know it's a lot of good things. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I had a very great time, and let's come and visit us here in Stockholm, Sweden. It's a beautiful place to be. Thank you